Distinguished participants of the Istanbul Summit, greetings from Taipei, Taiwan. Allow me to apologize for being unable to attend this significant summit in person. The theme for today's conference is so attractive and the subject matter, women, peace and security, so timely and important. I wish to thank the invitation of Journalists and Writers Foundation. I also wish the success of the summit. My name is Julian Annette. As early as 1971, I began to promote feminists and later joined the opposition movement. On December 10th of 1979 at a human rights rally, I delivered a speech of 20 minutes and later I was arrested along with the others and was sentenced to 12 years. Eventually, I spent 2,000 days in prison. But 20 years later, one of the defense lawyers became the presidential candidate and invited me to be his running mate. We defeated the ruling KMT party and ended its 50 years of authoritarian rules. I became the first female vice president and the only one vice president re-elected. In 2002, I was granted the World Peace Award. Believe it or not, I've not only suffered from cancer and imprisonment, I was nearly assassinated on the day before the election in 2004. But I have survived and remain determined to fight for human rights, world peace, and all the good causes for human beings. The message that I would like to convey to you today is feminization of power for peace. Peace has always been the ruin of human beings, men and women. At the launch of the millennia, the whole world was celebrating and bracing for peace. Ironically, the tragedy of September 11, 2001 destroyed everybody's dream and began to bring the nightmare of terrorism and armed conflict everywhere on earth. Looking over the entire human civilization, 99.9% of wars were initiated by men, yet 100% of victims were women and their beloved husbands and children. Did men ever ask women whether they like wars? Did women ever have the power to prevent the wars from happening? Women constitute half of the world population. But why through the millennia of human history are there only his stories and not her stories? We have all seen movies and television series in which men are depicted as heroes, fighting each other for whatever reason, with brutality, bloodshed, and large number of casualties. Are men truly brave? Courage without wisdom and mercy is stupid and coward. Why are women always silent about what they feel and believe, good or bad, right or wrong? Remember that not until 1910 women were able to attend the Women's Conference in Copenhagen across the nation for the first time ever in human history. Remember that according to the UNESCO 1980s report, women were paid 1/10 of the salary earned by men and owned only 1% of the entire world property. Despite that, women worked twice harder than men. Who made the decision on whether women could leave their homes and their countries? Who made the rules and laws that women only deserved 1/10 of the working salary and 1% of property? It is men. Women did not reach to the pinnacle position until the 1950s, when Mongolia elected its first female president. In the 1990s, there were 30 women elected to become president. Ever since then, many countries in different continents have elected women president and female prime ministers. But in Asia, most women national leaders came from powerful political families. Some of them were political widows. Indeed, women have been historically left out of peacemaking process and effort. Not until 2000, the UN Security Council adopted Resolution 1325 to link women to the peace and security agenda for the first time ever. It calls for women's active participation at all levels of decision-making on conflict prevention, conflict resolution, peace processes, post-conflict peace building, and governance. It further calls to take special measures to protect women and girls from gender-based violence. Since 2000, 5 resolutions on women, peace, and security have been adopted by the UN Security Council to strengthen women's participation in decision-making, conflict prevention, and resolution. These resolutions represent a critical landmark for improving the situation of women in conflict-affected countries. They have formed the basis of many national policies and action plans in conflict-affected settings. Thanks to the hard effort behind these resolutions, along with the UN enhancement of their Decade for Women platform, we see the long for the she century is coming. Imagine what the world will become when the Secretary General of the United Nations and the President of the United States will be women next year, plus the most powerful leader in Europe, named Angela Merkel, and 20 other outstanding women leaders across the nations. It's the beginning of she politics. More and more women have become active and powerful, not only socially, but also in politics and economy. In my country, Taiwan, for example, this year, not only have we the First Lady present, we also have 38% of MPs who are female. In the recent election, all the parties nominated one man and one woman to be candidates for president and vice president. Besides, both two major parties are led by chairwomen instead of chairmen. It certainly is the landmark of the feminist movement, which I have launched for over 4 decades. The 21st century is also a century for she economy. In fact, women made 85% of consumer choices. In the next decade, about 870 million women around the world are expected to enter the job market. With good income, women will become good consumers. More products will be designed and marketed especially for women to suit their taste. As more women enter working force, greater economic merit will be generated. Mobile and internet technology will facilitate women's management of business and help overcome the legal or traditional barriers. The time is up for the feminization of power. Imagine politics is involved with half or more women, and that economic and social development with a half or more women's participation. What differences, for better or for worse, would it become? May we make the 21st century as the beginning of the she century and begin to face the challenge of she politics, she economy, and she society. Throughout human history, problems after problems threaten the survival of the universe and living beings, no matter ecological or economic, political or social. In recent years, the global economy has been hit by financial tsunamis, and human society has been imperiled by terrorism. To face the unprecedented multiple challenges coming our way, women have to learn and apply the wisdom of soft power instead of hard power. My country, Taiwan, has learned to project soft power, namely democracy, human rights, culture, love, peace, and technological innovation. These values help and facilitate Taiwan's transformation from a small, poor country under an authoritarian regime into a highly developed country with mostly advanced high technology and democracies. While the traditional hard power is destructive and exploitative, soft power is constructive and generous in nature. Soft power is the foundation of world peace and substantial development. The struggle for hard power is often a zero or even negative-sum game, as in the case of war. While the traditional hard power is destructive and exploitative, soft power is constructive and generous in nature. Soft power is the foundation for world peace and substantial development. The struggle for hard power is often a zero or even negative-sum game, as if in the case of wars. While the developmental and sharing nature of soft power is always a positive-sum game. Hard power should no longer be the sole measurement of a country's success, and soft power will play a greater and more important role in the future of the world. Hard power should no longer be the sole measurement of country's strength, and soft power will play a greater and more important role in the future. What are females' characteristics in Xi century? Compared to men, women tend to see things from humanitarian perspective, caring more about environmental protection and sense of beauty. More women empowered means more humanity, more green economy, and more artistic interest. In a word, women tend to be the pivotal power for the substantial development of the globe, where he politics and he economy pursue it for self-interest, expansion, and exploitation. Xi century reflects a value of humanity, greenness, and benevolence. While he century stressed on hard power, Xi century elaborates soft power. In the last decade, people have talked a lot about women empowerment. But can women be empowered without knowledge, confidence, and capabilities? We have had enough poor and bad leaders. Do we need more? Of course not. Before being empowered, women need to build up their knowledge, confidence, and capability. With all this in mind, an International Institute for Women Leadership will be inaugurated in September in Taipei, Taiwan, under the sponsorship of the prestigious International Federation of Business Professional Women and Minchuan University. It includes courses for the political, economical, and social empowerment for women. A 10-day intensive and dynamic program will enlighten and enrich the participants with a new vision for Xi politics, Xi economy, and Xi society. Not only academic lectures, but also pragmatic working tours are arranged. We firmly believe that those who give us 10 days will soon become somebody. On the eve of Xi century, I sincerely urge the kind attention of gentlemen and ladies to be well prepared for the approaching of the new era. I firmly believe that with the feminization of power based on the philosophy of soft power, the whole world would become a better and nicer place to live. Ladies and gentlemen, let us work together to make mission impossible into mission possible. Thank you.